Hey, what up, everybody? It's Stevie Bridge coming to you. Just got done with tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. Going over this show, I hit the wall. I remember thinking that the show was like, all right, here we go. Here comes the good stuff. And I went to hit the fast forward over a commercial because even though I work and I come home from work, here in California, we don't get the West Coast, or we don't get the East Coast version of Raw. So when I start watching Raw, I only have like a 30-minute buffer in between, so I can't go through every commercial, but I thought I had built up enough time I could start fast-forwarding the commercials instead of, like, doing other things, doing them in certain things like that. And I went and I hit the thing thinking that more than likely I was going to get to the Big Mark Henry retirement and the main event of CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. And I was only an hour and 20 minutes into the show, and I was like, fuck me, this is a long show. Overall, I did hit the wall, but there was enough stuff in this show to be a damn good show. Enough to make me say, like, I really, really wish that this was a fucking 2-hour Raw. I'm sick and tired of these 3-hour Raws. That's the only thing I'm really going to pick apart about this, because I just want to get down to talking about some wrestling and just going over all the awesome shit that happened in this. I got me a Costco smoothie, spiked with some Malibu, and everybody knows Malibu's my drink. You can see the Malibu's on the bottom. It's separated itself from the smoothie stuff up there. Damn good stuff right there for you. It's the first time I've ever spiked one of those up, but it was pretty fun. Going over the whole basis of the show, CM Punk challenged Alberto Del Rio. I got a little mad at this at the beginning of the show because it seems like every match that CM Punk is going to have for the rest of his career is basically going to be based on somebody saying they're the best in the world and him saying, no, I'm the best in the world. I thought we got rid of this last month when they ended this pay-per-view, when he beat Chris Jericho. He's beat Daniel Bryan in the past. I just don't want every CM Punk match to be based around who is the best in the world. You know, if you want to call yourself the best in the world, that's it. If you want to have a match every once in a while when somebody says they want to challenge him, somebody from the mid-card wants to elevate themselves, or like how Undertaker says, I'll make you famous and stuff like that when he was with the biker gimmick, that stuff's alright, but I don't need every single guy to come out and do it. But basically they said that Dolph Ziggler wasn't going to be there. Del Rio was there celebrating his title again in his heel fashion. CM Punk comes out in a babyface way, pretty much just challenges him out there. If you listen to the Observer Radio with Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer, they played a clip that was online that I had no clue about. That was the breakup of Paul Heyman and CM Punk. Basically, they had to redo it on Monday Night Raw because of the fact that they really picked that nobody saw that, and nobody even knew that these guys were broken up. So they basically just did the whole thing again, live or pre-tape. I don't know why they just didn't show the first one. They just aired a second one, maybe because they wanted to make sure for the people who listened to the podcast deal that they wouldn't, just be playing the same damn thing over that was filmed the night before at the podcast. But they came out, they had a damn good match. I thought it was really, really good until the point of Del Rio, where they said that he rolled out of the ring. But when I watched it, it sure did look like Punk pushed his ass out of the ring to make sure that he got out. It looked like Del Rio rolled and he wasn't going to be able to do it, and Punk wanted to make sure that he got a spot out of the ring. He went out. That led to the big return of Brock Lesnar, which I guess was a surprise. There was no really tip that he was coming when the music went off. Punk sold it pretty well. Lesnar came down, circled his prey, got up in the ring, and hit the F5 and threw CM Punk like he was a cheap set of rags. He threw that fool up in the air, and it was on. I'm hoping that's a SummerSlam match. Who knows? They could do this match at Money in the Bank, but it looks like it's already pretty star-studded all the way through. You can see they're pushing Money in the Bank pretty hard. They aired the Rob Van Dam promo twice to make sure everybody in the world got a chance to see that. We got the return of Christian, him beating Wade Barrett. Honestly, in my opinion, I think he's just going to be stuck in this mid-card role, being the Intercontinental Champion for the rest of his life, and maybe going at the United States title. No way in the world he's really getting the elevation to get back up to the top. We had to put up with the whole shit of Vicky Guerrero is now the pawn in this whole storyline involving the McMahons. And not only did we find out tonight that this is not only Triple H against Vince McMahon, But Nipple H, Stephanie McMahon, has butted herself into this. This storyline, to me, has a long way to go. But I'm already at the point where this is a fucking stupid storyline, and I want nothing to do with it. I love Vince McMahon. I love Triple H. I love Stephanie McMahon. If they were all on the same team, I can do it. But when the basis of Monday Night Raw is the McMahon family drama, I've lived this. I've done this. They've done everything in the world they can do. I've seen Vince McMahon fuck every diva on the roster, and behind Linda's back, he's made Trish bark like a dog. I've seen it all. There's nothing they can do with this storyline that's going to make me care about it. I know that they want to make it the forefront that Triple H is going to be taking Vince's job, and he's going to be the man around town running the show, the forefront guy. This honestly is not the way to do it for me. I don't care who's telling what. If you want them to be in charge, you don't need them undermining Vicky Guerrero and Brad Maddox. It's just unnecessary, and it doesn't add to the show. It's not fun at all. We had an awesome segment involving AJ Lee and Caitlyn's nipple made an appearance. I don't know how you guys spot this stuff. I knew about it because of all the people putting it up on Twitter, all the people putting it up on Vine. I watched the nipple. I was looking for it. I couldn't see it. You guys out there are awesome for giving that to us. We had the evolution of the Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton feud. They had an awesome no disqualification match. Why this wasn't on the whole Payback pay-per-view last night, it would have made it a little bit better. I know that when they added that spot, they took away the Shield versus the Usos, which might have not made the pay-per-view look at that star-studded as it was. I had no idea that these guys were using the RK No name, but Daniel Bryan threw that out there for you. But very, very good match. It doesn't look like Daniel Bryan's going to be getting elevated to that spot. I know a lot of the rumors were being thrown around that he was going to be the number one guy going up against John Cena, but more than likely the people that were feeding the sources were probably trying to cover up this whole Mark Henry thing. Mark Henry had an awesome night. He had an awesome, awesome speech. I really wish I didn't know what was coming, because everybody who watched this live, their Twitter reactions were freaking awesome. When I watched it back and knew what was coming, I didn't think it was really that spectacular. A lot of people were calling this the wrestling moment of the year. I really still think that the Kurt Angle versus Rampage Jackson is still my vote for the best thing to happen for this year. What else happened tonight on Raw? It was an overall good edition of Raw as I flipped through this thing. The Shield had their matches. It was Kane had his rematch against Dean Ambrose. That match was alright. This Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow match against Sheamus had no point, wasn't needed. Talked about the nipple. Cesaro versus William Regal. This match, in my mind, really was a letdown. When I saw they had Cesaro come out and it was William Regal, I was like, they're going to put on a fucking wrestling clinic. This is going to be a damn good match. And I was really, really let down. Antonio Cesaro teaming up, and they made it seem like Jack Swagger is part of the the group here. I know he's out right now getting surgery on his hand. He's got it all pretty well cut up. He's got stitches all through there. He had some sort of surgery right there. I was really scared that he was serving some sort of suspension, for the whole thing that happened before marijuana, before WrestleMania. But this match was bad. So I don't know if Cesaro and Swagger are just going to be two guys, going after different things, and they're on the same group. with Zeb, or if they're going to become some sort of a tag team. Cesaro's look tonight really didn't look that good. I'm just not a fan of this at all. Antonio Cesaro is a guy who should be going after the WWE Championship, and I know I'm sort of putting him down. Zeb Coulter as a manager, he pushed Jack Swagger up to win the Elimination Chamber, go to WrestleMania. You can't get any bigger than that if you're looking for a guy to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. So maybe I shouldn't be dogging this all so bad. I honestly don't even remember this Heath Slater versus Chris Jericho match. Sin Cara versus Kurt Axel was the match that I just didn't want to see, and I fast-forwarded through. Del Rio and Punk was a really good match. Would set up what I guess is going to be the SummerSlam match, CM Punk against Brock Lesnar. Still a part of me thinks that they're probably going to use Brock for the Money in the Bank match, but we'll have to see where they're going from this. I left after my Payback review. The last thing I said was I have no idea where they go from here. Ryback wasn't on the show, so he's probably dead and off. I believe he's lost 8 pay-per-views in a row now. He needs to come back, and he needs to win. He needs to come back as a monster. CM Punk took off after losing 3 pay-per-views in a row. Ryback is the guy that easily could be one of the most improved wrestlers of the year. I don't really think you can give him Rookie of the Year because he was a guy that was, having a lot of matches all throughout last year. But damn, I mean, they really built up a guy to really let us down a little bit. I know he main evented a few pay-per-views, so it's hard to say that he's a real big letdown, but I honestly was really expecting more for Ryback, and the spot he's in right now sucks. So I'm really surprised on where they're going from here. It's going to be fun. I apologize for going almost 12 minutes once I wrap this up, so peace out, everybody. Have fun. I'll sip my Malibu until I'm ready to go to sleep. Peace out.